Hello there. So some late good news. That woke lefty football pundit Gary Lineker is quitting the BBC. Yay! And the good news is that according to The Sun, the final whistle is blowing for Gary Lineker's time at the BBC. But the bad news is that he will stay long enough to cover the next World Cup in 2026. But he will stop presenting Match of the Day at the end of this season, says the Sun report. However, is he quitting or is he being quit? Now, a BBC source did say that Lineker has loved his time at the BBC, but that it's one of the industry's worst kept secrets that the new BBC Director of Sport, Alex Kajajski, and Gary aren't exactly close. The former is keen to make his mark by bringing in new faces and slashing wage bills. Well, I think that's what the BBC should be looking at, slashing wage bills. And he went on to say that an 18-month deal that everyone is happy with has been struck. Everyone? But he will get a well-deserved pay cut, I hear. And the source also said that the leaving of such a well-loved person will send shockwaves around the corridors of the BBC. Well, the BBC is woke to the core, just like Lineker. So they do have a lot in common. Except, of course, for his reportedly 1.35 million quid annual salary, of course. And coming so close after a Trump election victory, there will be much whinging and wringing of hands at the BBC. Well, my channel co-pilot Richard, what do you think of that then? Oh, there. No, you're upset.
Oh, it's one of my stocks. Right. Anyway, yes, so sad, incredibly sad. Yes, I'm absolutely gutted that Gary Lineker is going because I shared so many of his moral values, didn't I? Anyway, yes, but my question though is, and here we have to really think about this now, Jeff. The question is, who will the hyper-woke BBC replace him with? Whoever it is will have to have, well, it'll have to be someone that most traditionally minded men will disagree with politically and have a panache for unicorns. After all, let's not forget, whoever replaces Gary Lineker must conform with the BBC's diversity drive. I remember that kind of thing going on because I had a little bit to do with the BBC myself, working on within some of their productions, and it was very diverse. Some lovely people I worked with as well, I have to say. But
of course.
Others, no, I won't say any more. What do you reckon, Jeff?
Well, I'm asking the question, is it worth starting to pay the BBC licence fee just to see him go? I mean, that's a question, isn't it?
Yeah. I'd pay money for that myself, actually. Yeah, a good send-off.
Well, you don't want to see him go.
No. Hang on, it should be silent. Utter silence. Tumbleweed. Silence throughout the nation.
Yes. What, for 2 minutes? No, we're not having any of that. We'll have a lot of clapping. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. And remember, last season, the virtue signaller was even taken off of air for an episode after he tweeted out comparing the then government's asylum policy to Nazi Germany, says The Sun. So this is the sort of thing we've been going on. How can a UK government ever be, well, maybe this one could be, but not even the previous one. Oh, well, there you go.
Well, what I want to know... Go on, Jeff. Well, what I want to know is, how could that man who holds values contrary to the values of most of the British public, how could he get paid such an incredible wage for a public broadcaster? That's almost like people being taxed to get told stuff that they really do not believe in. And to me, it was almost like propaganda. So, yeah.
Yep. No, you're absolutely right. And that was always the argument going back as far as the Brexit days, and maybe even before that, when it just obviously ganged up against Brexiteers and wasn't having any of it. And they even said on the night when the final result came in, they sort of said, "We've lost." And I thought, what? The BBC, we have lost, Brilliant.
Yeah.
Oh, dear. I don't own a TV now, and I'm not getting another one now. I've broken the habit of letting dual passport holders force their unwanted political opinions into every single area, never suffering that again. Well, that's exactly right. And then, do you remember he went off to Qatar to do that competition over there, and he was virtue signaling from over there in Qatar,
Yes, no,
where the Hamas terrorist bosses were hanging out. You get the sort of picture, don't you, about this guy? Yeah.
Didn't James O'Brien as well from LBC say why are the media and everyone, why is everyone so frightened of Gary Lineker? I thought, yeah, okay. That should tell you a lot.
Oh yes, that's a good theory. There on the screen, yeah. Yes.
Oh, yes.
I don't watch MSM or TV. Why is he so hated? Because he's a left-wing woke virtue signaler, that's why, who earns a hell of a lot of money and can afford to be woke. That's the main problem with him. Actually, it's quite funny that according to the report, he's actually very popular in the US with his Goal Hanger podcast. Now, I've never heard of that until now myself, but it's meant to be some sort of podcasting empire that he's built. Don't know about that. Have you ever heard of that one?
No. It's quite strange that, I mean, a lot of people in Britain are quite, a lot of podcasters in Britain are quite popular in America.
Yeah.
I think they seem to like us more than we like ourselves these days in America. Yeah, that's the truth of the matter.
Yes, probably. Oh, well, we'll see.
Just going through some of these comments.
Does that mean we can put on the "I Will Survive" song? Okay. Yes. Anyone else chipping in their thoughts about this Pratt? I'm hoping he's talking, or whoever that was, Chivy is talking about Mr. Lineker.
No, they're talking about us, Jeff.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah, is that, keep up the good work. We'll try and keep up the good work. Yeah. I
mean, there's so many supportive, lovely messages in the comment section right now towards Gary Lineker. Yeah. It's quite moving,
Is it? Moving what, though? Now, the good thing is, if he's podcasting in America, you see, he'll be putting his podcast out, possibly trying to annoy Donald Trump, and he'll be putting it up on X, won't he? Trying to get his message out. And I wonder if he'll get a lambasting from Elon Musk, or if Elon Musk will give him a one-way trip in one of his spaceships. You never know, do you?
Oh, yes. Yes, the first man on Mars. Yeah. That'd be great. See you, Gary.
Yeah. Well, you can send down your messages from outer space, which we'll all ignore. Good riddance, I say, and the next incumbent should be on no more than the Prime Minister. Yes, if you're working for a public sector thing, which the BBC is, because it's tax money that runs it, then why should you be on masses and masses of money like that? Surely you do it for the good of the nation, just like the armed forces do when they go into battle. They should get paid more than Gary Lineker does.
Oh, totally. Exactly. This entire country's got its value system upside down. I mean, to be honest with you, why does anybody in the country, in the public sector, earn more than the Prime Minister?
Exactly.
How is that possible? Why? Surely that should be the most responsible, well-paid job in the country, and that we do get the best people forward for it. Unfortunately, we seem to get some of the worst. As I've said,
we vote for them. Our electors vote for them, don't they? You know, you can only be a Prime Minister if you've been elected as an MP. And actually, when you think about it, they've got the entire civil service telling them what to do, as far as I can see. They probably all rush in there with great ideas, get sat down by the Westminster elite and told, this is what you're going to do, and this is what you're going to tell the people. Now, I know you said you weren't going to raise taxes, Prime Minister, but I'm sorry, but that's what you are going to do. And you are going to completely drop everything onto the farmers, and the pensioners can go and die somewhere. You know what I mean? And that's what they get told when they go in there. Maybe that's why they don't get paid that much, because they're not actually in charge of anything.
Well, I can tell you the truth here. I stopped watching football on television because of Gary Lineker. I have to say I did. I stopped watching Match of the Day. And since then, I haven't really followed football much at all.
No, what broke it for me...
I physically cannot watch that man to tell me anything about anything. I can't do it. I can't listen to him do it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
What gets me, though, is that it was the whole knee-taking thing. As soon as he started doing that, I thought, I'm done with that. Then the rugby, the Formula One, the whole... I don't watch them anymore because they went woke, and it's going to take a lot to get me back. It really is. I used to avidly watch the rugby, and especially Formula One. Since that they all went woke, I went, not interested. It's quite funny, that, isn't it? You know.
Good point here by Balls to All. Ordinary people are more productive than the PM. Actually, you are correct there, but it shouldn't be that way, should it? That's the problem, is that we have, unfortunately, got prime ministers who just seem to be serving a different function, not serving the function that they should be. They should be serving the people, but they're not.
Yeah,
they're serving something else and somebody else.
Yeah. And actually, the only thing that I can think of that, there's two things that politicians are excellent at producing. One is hot air and the other is BS. So there you go. They are good at producing something. As Marion N says, that should save money. Can we pay less for our license? Well, we've saved ourselves a bit of dosh on Lineker. Yeah, I'm not sure how much that will save each person. How many tax BBC license fee payers are left? What, about 3 or 4 maybe at a push?
But what we've got today is you've got people who are famous and in these positions earning all this money. They are famous basically for being famous. I mean, what is great talent? Granted, I will say that Gary Lineker obviously has an in-depth knowledge of the sport, but does it warrant that kind of amount of money? There are plenty of experts in plenty of fields in lots of different areas, but do they get paid that kind of money? Sure, the man is paid more than some scientists working on cures for cancer. And you think, well, again, this is a societal problem.
Yes, well, that is a thing. Are the scientists working on a cure for cancer? Anyway, that's another subject.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, look. Yes, there's a statement. And there's another one. Yes. Haven't watched the BBC for many, many, many years. Their own fault, says formerly ITBC. Okay. Yes. So, I think the same for a lot of people. I've got to admit, I still do pay the license fee. Oh, shock horror, because I generally tend to like to watch the political stuff they put out on Westminster and stuff like that. And I like to watch it as it's happening, not wait until I have to play catch up with it. So that's part of this. That's part of doing what I do, I'm afraid. So there you go. I'm a traitor to the cause, I know.
Just jumping in here back in defense of Gary Lineker as well. There is a thing called free speech in this world, and I believe people like Gary Lineker should have the right to say whatever they want to. But so should everybody else opposing what he says and thinks. That's the thing.
Yeah, but the thing is, he was being paid public money by the BBC, the public broadcaster.
I totally agree.
So he should have had a clause that definitely said that he keeps his thoughts to himself. The military and people like the police have to, until they leave the police and the military. So, they're public sector employees. It should be exactly the same for all of them. Like the civil service, when they go around saying to people, I'm, we lost the election to the Tories. No, you shouldn't say that. You shouldn't be doing any of that, even within the workplace. That's part of your job. It's called impartiality. Yes. I don't watch Match of the Day. I don't anymore either. I used to watch it occasionally, but no more. Someone would say there's a good match on. It was played earlier. It's really good. And okay, but don't bother anymore. Yeah.
Interesting here. Comment by, I can't pronounce it. I haven't got my glasses. Is it Kroom? Anyway, it says he's seen what's happened in the US and realizes his front-facing appearance needs to go, so can desperately go to look after his podcast company. That's an interesting point of view.
Well, it's he's meant to be a big thing out there.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's it.
He's off after the 2026 World Cup. I just quickly read, why so long to wait? Yes, it's that's the good news that he's going, and the bad news, as I said earlier, is that he's actually staying until 2026. He'll be stopping his Match of the Day activities at the end of this season, whenever that is, and he'll never be seen on there again. But he will be doing a couple of big tournaments, including the World Cup 25 to 26. He'll be covering that as well. So, yes, we still have to do it.
You can just see now that they will be doing a Gary Lineker special when he leaves.
No.
He was have a week of mourning.
Oh, does that mean that we've now got another Sportsman of the Year thing coming up for him? Or something like that. Presenter of the year. I tell you what, Nigel Farage, get yourself in gear and make sure that whatever Lineker goes for, you beat him.
I'll never forget that
of the year or something. Yeah.
Well, I'll never forget that episode of Absolutely Fabulous. I think it was Absolutely Fabulous, where Joanna Lumley says, I think it's mentioned Sports Personality of the Year, and she went, contradiction in terms.
Yes. Now this brings back some memories from Mike at Cora, and it's 2 pints of lager and a packet of crisps, please. I loved that comedy show. It was absolutely brilliant. I loved it.
I didn't actually watch that one, I think.
No, it's really good, especially as the bloke, the big hard, well, say the sort of the main bloke is afraid of sheep. Yes, it honestly, you have to watch it. It's brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
All right, you sold it to me now.
Yeah,
just waiting for the I'm just waiting for somebody to say that Welshman frightened a sheep. Just waiting for it. I'm not really Welsh anyway.
It'll come. Yeah. Good, that's great news. I might start watching Match of the Day again. Oh, I'd wait and see who replaces him. It might be Gary Lineker Mark II.
Yeah, it is.
That's
it
a
is
problem
quite
with so many of these celebrities. They just think they've got, yes, anyway, there you go.
Okay, Jeff, well, we just thought we'd come on for a quick one here, to be honest with you.
Well, the whole point of UK Parliament is to share great ideas, etc., not to be run by one person's ideas like a presidential system. It's all bull. Yeah, I mean, Parliament is a bit of meant to be a talking shop. The trouble is that government is formed out of the majority party of MPs, so they're all going to cling together. That's why they wanted proportional representation in. But having seen what that's doing across Europe at the moment in some of these countries, I'm not sure about that. Anyway, that's off topic. Let's keep to that very important topic of kicking a leather pill around a pitch. Anyway, it was great to catch up with everyone on a short video. Yeah, and just tell you about this great news that you can take home and say to everybody, wow, it's great, it's marvellous. So thanks very much. Yeah, go on.
Yes, well, and if you're all very, very excited and glad to hear of the news of Mr. Lineker departing the BBC and Match of the Day, please press the like button. And also, please subscribe to this channel, because most people who watch YouTube aren't subscribed. Please, really helps. Thank you. Over to you, Jeff. Back over to you.
Well, thanks very much for your input, and I hope you enjoyed the little show, because, it's past my beddy buys time now, and I've got to go and get some beauty sleep just to maintain what I've already got and build upon it in some way. So it's goodbye from me.
And it's goodbye from him. Goodbye.